Stephen A., is Jalen Hurts in a position to succeed this season?
I don't think he's in a position to succeed because I don't know if Nick Sirianni is the right man for the job. That remains to be seen. I don't know if he has the requisite weapons necessary in order to succeed because he can't throw the football to himself. And I just look at it from a standpoint that I've got some serious questions as to what he's going to do this season. I just don't think that the Eagles, who've revealed themselves to be a mess since last season, are going to completely recover that quickly. And I think that when we look at Jalen Hurts, we need to understand and remember his resume. The individual that was succeeded by Tua Tagovailoa, benched at halftime of a national championship game because it was one of the most awful performances that we had ever seen. And then Tua came in and rescued the day and delivered the goods against the University of Georgia. Having said all of that, Jalen Hurts goes to Oklahoma. He transfers to Oklahoma, plays lights out. Before he transferred, was the consummate professional and team play and deserves a lot of credit for that. He's in the National Football League. I think he's got an upside. I think he's got potential, but it's primarily due to his athleticism, his guts, moxie, etc., as opposed to accuracy throwing the football. And when you're playing the quarterback position, Max knows this about me, I'm going to religiously come back to your ability to be accurate. I'm doing that with everybody at the quarterback position because at some point in time, they're going to make you throw the football. I'm talking about under pressure, under duress, and with a miniature window to connect to. You're going to have to be able to do that. And I'm not sold yet on Jalen Hurts' ability to do that on the NFL level.
Yeah, it seems like Hurts would need every advantage around him, and it does not seem like he has that. He's inconsistent. It's why he lost his job in college to Tua. It's why he was drafted in the second round. But he has potential, especially if you see that Arizona game last year. I thought he hung tough with Kyler Murray. He belonged on the same field. So there's flashes there, but I agree. I don't think he's in a great position to succeed. But you know who I want to focus on, Stephen A., who is in a position to succeed? Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins looked, remember I said Mac Jones looked good, bordering on very good? I thought Dwayne Haskins looked excellent. I thought he looked excellent. Now, look, he's in his third season. And he started about a dozen games, 13 games. And he has not been very good. His completion percentage for his career, something like 60%. Was he in the best position to succeed? Remember, he's a one-year starter out of college. And even in that 1 year, Haskins got better and better throughout the year. But like Mac Jones, not really a mobile quarterback, is going to have to beat you like more of an old-school quarterback. And those guys might take a little longer. They have fewer weapons to go to very early on. Haskins has not been a good NFL quarterback so far. And I realize, like Mac Jones, he's playing against third stringers. He's not playing against starters, second and third string guys, in the preseason. But he looked excellent. And while we're talking about guys who are not in a position to succeed, he has Mike Tomlin. He has that man right there, Stephen A. And Tomlin knows how to get the best out of players. It's the reason, no matter what hand he's dealt, no matter what cards he's been dealt in his career, he has never been under 500 as a head coach. Haskins now has a couple of partial seasons in his back pocket, experience now as a one-year starter. Actually, he's where young quarterbacks used to be at this point when they got out of college, and it still took them like a year or two to develop. I wouldn't rule a future for Haskins out based on what I saw last night. Well,
that's cool, but let's understand why you're doing that. It's because you're being a nice guy. Let's just call it what it is. You're being a very, very nice guy. This guy was released from the Washington football team. I'm talking about a man that is universally recognized as class personified in Ron Rivera. Goes out publicly on national radio and says, I let him go. His work ethic and commitment were a question. Says he has an NFL arm, a legit NFL arm, can make the requisite throws. We know what he did at Ohio State, okay? We get all of that. And Ron Rivera, in his first year on the job, basically benched him after 4 games. I think it was 4 games. What are we talking about here? I got some numbers in front of me. His record was 3-10, completed 60% of his passes, 2,804 yards, 12 touchdowns, 14 interceptions in his time in Washington. But for Ron Rivera, he didn't even last a third of the season before Ron benched him and ultimately let him go and publicly declared work ethic and commitment was a problem. You and I both know Ron Rivera would never do that unless the players themselves were noticing and saying the same thing. So, yeah, you're in Pittsburgh. Yeah, you're with Mike Tomlin. But you talk about a guy that doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. He might be on the line on a roster with Pittsburgh, and you're there with Tomlin. But you talk about a guy that needs to show and prove. That's it, because it's not about his play and his talent that we were talking about. When somebody's questioning your work ethic and commitment at that young of an age, that's a problem.
It is. There's no doubt about it. Stephen A., out of college, he seemed confident on the border of kind of arrogance. He had a certain arrogance to him. And maybe he needed to be humbled by the NFL a little bit before it really got through to him what it's going to take. But I wouldn't count him out. He was spectacular in college. He was very good last night. He may still have a future.
Yeah, hopefully he's learned his lesson from last season. And just circling back to Jalen Hurts, among the quarterbacks with at least 100 pass attempts last season, he had the lowest. I'm sorry?
I said, let me ask you a question, Charlie.
Yes.
Because just like Max is being nice, you're very, very nice.
I try.
Somebody that is young and talented, we hear arrogance. You know, it's not wrong with that. Cockiness, all that stuff. I mean, please, that comes with it. I mean, you got to believe in you. But work ethic and commitment? Work ethic and commitment?
Well,
when they're looking at you and they're saying you on the NFL level playing the quarterback position, the knock against you is that you didn't work hard? That would scare me more than anything.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.